What would you do if somebody tried to remove the tip of your finger? Or what if they did? This process happens to cats all the time. It is called an onconcectomy, which is basically the declawing of a cat. Not only is this process inhumane, it is very painful for the cat. Removing a cat's claws is not the answer. There are so many other alternatives to declawing. Declawing should be banned. Removing a cat's claws is inhumane. According to the AAFP, removing a cat's claws is basically like removing the tip of our finger. It's a surgical amputation of the third flanks. Now, if you pay attention to the photo that I'm about to share with you, you'll see what I'm talking about. And now, if you draw your attention to the red dotted line, this is where they make the surgical incision to remove part of the cat's toe, or in our case, the tip of our finger. They not only remove part of the cat's claw, but they remove part of the cat's toe, which includes the bone, as well as cutting through many tendons that connect to the cat's foot. Now, according to resume from to claw or not to declaw, declawing can be a very painful process in which oftentimes the pros do not outweigh the cons. I mean, think about it. If somebody cuts off the tip of your fingers, and that's how you mainly get around is by walking on the tips of your fingers, and they cut that part off, it's going to be painful when you apply pressure to that, correct? Now, there are many reasons that people get their cats declawed, and one of the main reasons is that cats mess up furniture, or they scratch things they're not supposed to. But according to Caitlin Mills, scratching things is part of a cat's natural instinct. Cats often scratch things to mark territory as well as to just condition their nails. Now, this process can be helped by buying a scratching post, which is another alternative to declawing, and it doesn't cause pain to your cat. Most of the time, your cat will actually love scratching on a scratching post. Now, another reason people get their cats declawed is because of aggression. They think that declawing their cats will reduce the aggression that the cat has. However, this is not the case. Cats' aggression will not cease when you declaw them. They'll find other ways to be aggressive, such as using their mouth and biting you. The best alternative to removing or declawing a cat is to get the cat behavioral training, which will actually reduce their aggression and train them how to behave around other people as well as other animals. Cats need their claws. According to Gary Lorenthal in an article titled Why Cats Need Their Claws, cats use their claws to get around. They use their claws to be able to grip onto things. So if you see your cat jumping on their cat tower from tower to tower, they are using those claws to hang on and not to fall off. They need their claws to be able to play around and to have fun and do their natural cat things. When a cat plays with a cat toy and it paws at the toy and grabs the toy, it uses its nails to be able to latch onto that toy so it can play. But what happens if it doesn't have those claws? And then also, according to the truth about declawing, cats use their claws to be able to stretch. They will dig their claws into something to be able to pull their muscles, but without the tension of their claws, they're not able to stretch properly. Now, cats use their claws for many other things besides in everyday life. If you let your cats outside, according to Abbott in a defense of free-roaming cats, cats also use their claws as a defense. So, if you let your cat outside, the probability of it facing a predator is very high, especially here in Tennessee. The cat's claws are a main defense that they have against that predator. But if they don't have their claws, how are they supposed to defend themselves properly? Declawing should be banned because overall it is not beneficial to the cat. It's overall beneficial to the human or the person that's dealing with it. But as a cat owner, it is your responsibility to not cause harm to your animal for your benefit. Declawing is mainly used to avoid the scratching of furniture or other things, but there are alternatives to avoid these besides removing or amputating the tip of a cat's finger. People also remove it for aggression. But that aggressiveness is a trait and a behavioral thing, not an outside or physical thing on the cat. Declawing is inhumane and is basically an amputation. No one wants the tip of their finger amputated, and you shouldn't do it to your animal either. Declawing is never the answer. The alternatives to declawing are so much better than declawing itself. You can do your part by spreading the word about declawing and not getting your cat declawed. Inform other people about the other alternatives and inform people about what declawing actually is, because oftentimes people don't know. Thank you.